Hello my friends! I have already told you through several examples how I interpreted the book of Revelation in order to be able to put in place the different elements that I had found before this book appeared in my life. There were many other passages in the text that were helpful to me from this perspective. I think it would be too tedious to tell you about them, but those who are interested can find all the details in the book I wrote and declined in several versions. We'll find them at the end of this video. I was also helped in this research by many visions, which allowed me to clarify certain points as already told you in episode 77 concerning the four living ones. Now, I'm going to describe some of them and also some other relationship I found. February 4, 1999. Another vision. This time it is the large square that surrounds the door in the sky when it is transformed into the fluorescent bases of the rampart of the celestial Jerusalem. It consists of 12 squares on each edge, 44 in total. Each one is like a pyramid seen from above or from a diamond point. The color is vaguely yellowish golden. However, I should not rely too much on the colors of the visions. I found that often it is a kind of photonegative that must have another shade once revealed to the day. In the center of each square on the pyramid point, there will be the gems that not appear in these visions. This confirmed to me the right direction. I have often had visions of white triangles pointing up, never pointing down. This time it is much more intense. The triangle is surrounded on the outside with a whitish light. In the middle of each side there is a group of lines coming out of the center, but starting from the triangle. They are white too. I relate this figure to 16.19. The great city was divided into three parts. They are white too. I relate this figure to 21.21. And the 12 gates are 12 pearls, each gate made of a single pearl. The 12 pearls correspond to composition I had painted around 1982, at the time of Spirit of Nations, except that I have placed 8 of them. 5.6. Then I saw, standing between the throne of the four living creatures and the elders, a lamb, as if slain, with 7 horns and 7 eyes. According to my analysis, this lamb is not an animal, but refers in part to the rainbow around the throne made in fluorescent paint. The red color evokes a lamb as if slaughtered. 7 horns and 7 eyes are formed by the yellow lids arranged in such a way that they can be reminiscent of horns and eyes, torches, or even other evocations of 7 elements later in the text, depending on the lighting and the focus of the viewer. When I was in my early 20s, I painted reproduction of Romanesque paintings on wooden panels. One of them represented a lamb, the animal, lying in a circular way in a circle formed by a rainbow. On the other hand, if I am indeed the one who has to accomplish this work, it was plain that I would do it from the translation of the Apocalypse into French. Now, the word agneau, lamb, is very close to anneau, ring, circle. As in the pictorial construction, they can only be purely geometrical elements. I see no other possibility. This explanation may seem far-fetched, But there are many passages in this text that are incomprehensible if one does not extrapolate what is written. In order for this extrapolation not to override the true meaning, it must be part of a global coherence. Much later, I would discover that a circular shape composed of 12 elements on the inside and 24 on the outside, made with a glossy gel at the limit of the all 24, will evoke quite a line drawn from the front in the simplest way when the projector is put on each. It will confirm and clarify my research on the cosmic flowers and will answer my hesitation on the number of divisions. 11.3. But I will give my two witnesses to prophecy for 1,260 days clause in socks. From the beginning, I sense that the two witnesses correspond to the sound system Mr. I and Lady O. In prophesying, they make a sound. Each time a sound is emitted in the text, it comes from the speakers. For example, 10.3. He uttered a mighty clamor like the roar of a lion. Then the seven thunders sounded their voices. A fire would come out of their mouth. The fire is the projector. The roar of the fire is the loudspeaker, which is indeed a mouth, especially with the singing robots. As for the thunder, they clearly evoke the low and powerful sounds such as one finds in modern music, in particular techno. There are other details specified in the text, which I have interpreted to develop the sound system, including some in the vision of Ezekiel. For a long time, I painted Lady O in red and Mr. E in blue in their various versions. I was haunted by a painting from my early days that I had named Blue Red. It represented a ball in the manner of Vasarely. Depending on how you looked at it, the hollow ball appeared to be red on the outside and blue on the inside, or the opposite. Pure optical illusion. I noted that the witnesses were closed in bags. Indeed, the angular side of the boxes was reminiscent of bags, but I had not looked any further. Then, over the years, as the sound progresses, a text will fall into my hands at the right moment. I will discover that in ancient times, the Jews, for various reasons, often misfortunes, covered their head with a bag made of black goat skin. I would keep the red and blue for the mouth and paint the head, side, and back of the enclosure black, then treat it with silver and gold to evoke the shine of a goat fur. These high-faced characters have a capital importance by diffusing this sound with so rich harmonics, which I call the yo energy, and which transport me so easily to the paradise. This dimension in which I feel the supreme psychic happiness every night. The duration of the prophecy of the witnesses, 1,260 days, is perhaps the time that the Extasium will be shown to the public. You can see that it represents almost 3.5 years in relation to the Kundalini energy, which I already mentioned in episode 25. But above all, we have 12 equal 6 plus 6, or 6 plus 6, 60 days, the famous number 666. It appears several times hidden in this text and often in the course of my research. I have already explained in episode 45 what this number means, and that is not alarming as most people think, because it refers to the all humanity.